Welcome to the UDP Broadcast, a podcast where a group of friends get together and offer both informed and uninformed opinions about gaming-related topics. I'm Luminary, and I'm accompanied today by my hosts, the Nordic Cajun.
Coming to a meat stand near you.
A meat stand?
What?
Coming
to meat space near you.
Mead, M-E-A-D, you bitches.
Oh, okay. The eternal barcode Imi, who is currently exploring Kerbal space?
Yes. Hello! I'm going to blow up Kerbals and commit war crimes. What?
And from the Emerald Dream, Raina, the crit chicken.
I am not on the mead market.
Boo.
Well, what is this? This is episode 21. That is effectively half a year's worth of podcast. 21 hours of bullshit and shenanigans that we've been spouting off. And, hey, I'm proud of us. We've done a thing. We found our groove. And
couldn't ask for a better group of idiots either.
Wait.
Thanks.
Wait,
Thanks, buddy.
What happens? What happens in another 21 weeks? I forgot.
It's our anniversary.
Well, someone very special to my heart is coming to visit me, and I couldn't be happier. And it's going to be one hell of an awesome time. She's coming to visit.
So it's going to be a very, 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 very special year or anniversary of the show too. So
that's
the
awesome.
podcast.
Best day. It's gonna be the best weekend ever.
Well, heck, we should do it live from Miami's, whatever it is.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Set it up in your backyard. Do some barbecue. I'll bring the meat. Yeah.
I'll bring the mead.
I mean, it's going to be the 4th of July, so I mean, fireworks are going to be going off.
Pew, pew.
And Canada Day, don't forget that. That's the
that too.
Oh, man, I got to do Canada Day. That means I got to get a passport.
I got one. I just get a ticket. Let's go.
All right, so the entire UDP broadcast is coming to visit. Interesting.
Absolutely.
They have now invited themselves over to our house.
We're bringing housewarming gifts and whatnot, so it's not like we're doing it for free.
No, that's cool. I mean, it is our house now, so it's okay.
Our house.
Wait, these are more explosive. Anyway, so on with the show while I blow up Kerbals.
So we've got this awesome union with the crit code, and we've got meatery Cajun for tonight, and a very confused and concerned and technically frustrated Lumi. Let's do this. What do we got?
Yeah.
We've got Riots, Entitlement, and Job Security. All three very nebulous titles, but we're going to get into that. Sit back, enjoy the show, and offer your opinions and tell us we're wrong or right and all other good stuff that we ask you to do.
Oh, but those titles are very near and dear to my heart because it's so relatable.
Well, let's do it. So first up on the chopping block, Riots. So there was a story, and it was huge this past week. It was kind of breaking and still kind of emerging, is the leak of Riot's source code for League of Legends, was it Teamfight Tactics, and a legacy anti-cheat program.
Yeah, that's a significant leak, and
Just a
generally not something you want to have happen. Generally,
I think it's interesting it happened to their code base. I know that across all the articles, they were talking like social engineering, which means somebody put the pieces together either from the person or from their person's public profile in order to access the systems. So
basically, yeah, like social engineering is a very entertaining thing because a lot of people don't understand just how easy it is to abuse someone's trust. And social engineering relies entirely on trust and assumption, meaning that the person who's about to abuse your trust, you trust that they are who they report to be. That is not generally the case, especially when it comes to social engineering. And that leads to all kinds of problems. If you've ever watched the movie Hackers, I highly recommend it. It is campy, it is cheesy, and the social engineering is accurate. It is really that simple to get people to hand over credentials. I will spoil it a little bit if you've never seen the movie. Well, I mean, It's 2023, so
It's like 20 years old by now. I think that
At this
you
point,
yeah.
if you ain't seen it by now, yeah.
you should probably get out and watch it. But basically, one of the scenes, the main protagonist, he calls up a business he's trying to break into, and he convinces the security guard he is someone who he is not, and the security guard gives him the phone number on the little box beside the computer. Those are what's called a modem for all you young kids who have no idea what the hell we're talking about. Those things make angry barcode noises. You may have heard of these other devices called a fax machine. They're very similar, but they generally sound like this.
No. No.
Oh, yes. I have a soundboard for a reason.
Oh, and also hackers can actually get into your voicemail box too sometimes, especially if you're in a business and you have multiple phone lines. It's called PBX hacking.
Yes.
I enjoy the fact that the Riot said apparently doesn't give two fucks. Like they're not even like trying to really combat this. They're like, yeah, we're not going to pay any ransom you have, because I know team fight tactics is a different game altogether. But League is based off of a very old game called
Dota.
Defense of the
Dota.
Ancients, or Dota.
Do you know what Dota's built on? Dota's built on Warcraft 3.
Yes, exactly. Like
Yeah.
StarCraft.
you can literally go and make your own version if you want to. It's out there. It's not like you're going to get anything special with
Yeah.
the source code for League of Legends. It's
See, that's when you stop and you actually revive Heroes of the Storm. But may I throw in my 10
I
cents?
liked Hero of the Storm.
Absolutely.
Yes, please.
10 cents.
No. We try not to mention that name anymore.
I almost snorted my drink. That was great.
Well, if I may, I will say that I'm kind of glad that I never got involved in Riot, nor did I get involved with League of Legends, because I said I would never play a game that literally has the abbreviations of LOL.
Kick.
Kick you. Isn't that how you kids say that shit?
It's crazy how like nonchalantly they're like, yeah, we're not going to pay for this whole thing, and it's not. I mean, it's there was another story back in the day. Somebody actually found the recipe for Coca-Cola, and they were going to sell it to Pepsi. And Pepsi had them arrested for trying to give them the recipe for their biggest competitors.
Oh yeah, that would be intellectual theft and corporate espionage, and there'd be so much liability for Pepsi.
And that,
Oh, for sure.
only
That's why Tencent's like, try us, bitch.
And what was that, Raina?
I was gonna Raina crit.
Chicken,
Like
go.
9 different names.
Crana. There we go.
Crana, there we go.
Crit Raina. Okay, but I was gonna say, I'm like, there's people that like Pepsi and there's people that like Coke. There's two different, flavor profiles to it. So I'm pretty sure, like, Pepsi just wants to, cater to the people that love Pepsi for what it is, especially for the people that enjoy Pepsi and milk, and the people that actually like Kilk, I guess.
Kilk?
Coke and milk.
Coke and milk?
Like
Who would do that?
I mean, it's just a watered down root beer float-ish thing, but with Coke.
You guys are, you people.
We are only on this planet for a short amount of time. I will try anything at least once. And Pepsi and milk was not terrible. It was very close to a float. And if Coke and milk are the same way, I have no problem doing a singular drinker on the show next time.
Okay. Next week we should do Dr. Pepper and milk.
I saw somebody talking about Dr. Pepper and like creamer, and it being like the most amazing thing they've ever had. So I'm okay with that. We can do that next week if you want. I'm down.
But yeah,
you kids are disgusting.
I know.
We broke Lumi. Where are we at? We are at 6 minutes.
I just said you kids, and he's like, I don't understand how you're older.
Well, we can just go the nice way and just like just get some Sprite and just put like some sherbet ice cream on top.
I could never get behind sherbet. I don't know why.
You can do it with Sprite though. Like it's worth it with Sprite. Think of it as like frozen fruit spread. It's not bad.
I guess, but I was like, but why would I do sherbet when I have ice cream?
It's so good.
That's very accurate. If you've got ice cream, why go for an imposter?
Exactly. I never understood it. Like I worked with somebody who their entire life they never tasted actual ice cream and only had sherbet. I'm like, do I need to call protective services? Do I need to call somebody? Like that
Do you need help?
mean,
Is this
I'm
common?
gonna-
that is child abuse.
I mean, I'm gonna slap you in your pixelized titty. I swear.
What?
Bring it, woman. What did I do this time?
You're hating on sherbet, and it's one of my favorite things in the world.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with sherbet. It's not for me, but
Rainbow sherbet
a lot
is
of
my
people like
favorite.
But yeah,
why? Oh, right. I'll be eating me Lucky Charms and me Rainbow Sherbet. Super Troopers. There we go. The Highway Patrol chief. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
talk about entitlement, huh?
Say
Hey-yo.
shenanigans
Speaking
one more time. Well, we're not there yet. So, so the other part about this is the reason why they're not taking it as seriously as you see most breaches is because no user data was accessed. This is literally in their build environment. It's not their production environment. It's, oh no, they got our source code and they're asking us for money, and they've pretty much chalked it up to, well, I guess we're going to have to be more vigilant on the uptick in cheats that are going to come through because they have access to how this works. And
Yeah.
Okay,
Which people use freaking cheats in League all the time. The freaking
anything with an online component with a byte stream that is modifiable and ingested by a server and doesn't question it is going to have problems, which is why you can't really. It's why multiplayer or centralized multiplayer is so expensive. I mean, if you really think about it, because you've got people circumventing your measures all the time. They have intrusive programs like VAC and anticheat and pandas and all kinds of other things that invade your game space and decrease performance to ensure the quality of play for the entire player base because people are assholes.
It's basically the reason why people hate speed limits on the road, because people are going to obey the speed limit, but there's always going to be people who don't, no matter what kind of rules you put in play.
I think it's a really good flex by Riot, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, they're just like, so we wrote this shit. We'll just write it again. I mean, bye.
That's a decent fuck you to the would-be ransom people, because it has now single-handedly devalued their theft. What they stole is no longer of any value to any.
Did I lose me?
The way his voice died, like, man, that was great.
Like, did he hit his button again? Like, what happened? Like he digitized.
No, sorry. I don't know why it died. Let me check. Maybe Discord is being stupid, like normal.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, right now as it stands, our light up is not synced, which is weird. I don't understand that.
Yeah,
it's just the sound your voice made was on par. We thought it was normal until you just stopped talking. So
nice. Perfect. Because I'm listening to the stream and I don't really hear any anomalies with it, which is really weird.
Huh, well,
okay. I mean, went ring.
I just exist. We know this.
Mm-hmm.
So I had words to say and things to say, and
things happen.
Either way, good job to you, Riot, for being like so, and keep fighting a good fight. I'm glad nothing else was compromised.
We don't give you props often, but we'll give you the gold star on this one.
Well, I think Riot's also now backed by Tencent, isn't it? That happened.
Yeah.
So there's that too. So they've already got a couple strikes against them, but that stance of no, you is really great.
Yeah, that's kind of why I said I want to throw my 10 cents.
Woo!
Drink, Agent.
I got it.
Are we not supposed to promote alcoholism?
I mean, it's not like you can see it.
Drinking.
You're not allowed to get completely smashed and throw up on stream.
Speaking of smashed,
why would you? Damn right.
People have
weird.
People have gotten banned from trying to drink an entire gallon of milk and throw it up on screen. So,
I think that probably falls under self-harm, right?
Yes, and Lumi can back me up on this. I used to do drinking with the king on a weekly back in the day, and I never got in trouble for that. So it's perfectly fine as long as you're not getting completely shit faced and putting yourself in danger on stream. So I'm in a controlled environment. I'm at my house. I'm with friends, and it's fine. It's good. Let's not think about the fact that I've been drinking since 4:30, but it's gonna be fine.
Oh no.
I am the Nordic Cajun. I can hold my booze.
Oh, let me get the sheet out for this next topic, which is entitlement. Entitlement, and it all comes down to the Genesis 9 tournament that happened in California. Two specific events. We'll start with the entitlement end of this. So for those of you who don't know, Genesis 9 is a huge tournament in California that happened between January 20th and January 23rd. So, yeah, it's fairly recent considering it's the 28th right now. Canada's top player, Kazuya, or excuse me, Canada's top Kazuya player, Michael Riddles Kim, after getting his ass solidly handed to him by the French player Leon, or Nissim Leon Liab, who mains, is that Lucina? I think it's Lucina. I haven't played Smash in forever. Hey, Nordic would know. Is it Lucina? You have Smash, right? Or if it's not a Pokemon, you don't know.
No.
I Smash and Pass.
Not in this generation. Not with these people. No, absolutely not. We pass out deodorant more than we do Smash or Pass. But
no,
I'm more in tune of the actual fighting game community, not Smash players. There's a big difference. I don't care what they say.
Wow,
so,
you just literally in that one sentence said Smash is not a real fighting game.
It's not. Even the creator of the game has said that. The creator of the game says, no, it is a fucking party game. Fight me. I will die on this hill.
I mean, all you have to do is roll chic, get that chain whip, bounce people around on the chain whip, and then once you get them like to a high percentage or whatever, you just kind of like tap them with one finger and they just go blasting off the freaking map. So I can't tell you how many people in the past with Super Smash Brothers Melee.
So have any of you seen Kung Fu Hustle? Not Kung Fu Hustle.
Yes. One of my
not Kung Fu Hustle. Is the one the lip sync?
Kung Pao, Legend of the Fist.
Yeah. Yes. Favorite thing to do with Sheik is to extend out that chain, let it drop, and swing it around and say, "Swinging the chain, swinging the chain."
God, that movie was awful.
Yeah, it was the best awful.
I would rather see Jesus Christ Vampire Slayer. I've watched the trailer. Okay, so
I read the comics of that. The comics of that is actually really good.
The trailer is certainly a thing that exists on the internet. Is the best way to put it.
I know what I'm doing after the show.
You can see the trailer on YouTube. Not that makes it any better.
Before we get into the meat and potatoes of this whole entitlement thing, I have to say one more thing about the freaking Smash community. They added people like Ryu and Kazuya from Kazuya. I'm gonna say his name wrong because I don't play Tekken 7. The guy from Tekken 7 added him to the game, and I believe their inputs are actually Fireball, B, and all that good stuff to actually use their techniques in Smash. They complained that they had to do extra buttons in Smash to play these characters. You can't tell me that alone does not disqualify them from being an actual fighting game. Mic drop. Done with the conversation. Moving on.
I guess you can call that a true wombo combo.
And Drake.
No.
Either way, Leon wrecked Riddle pretty hard with a neutral secondary character, Crom. And after Riddle being completely and utterly defeated, sat there and he stared at his controller for a bit, got up and slammed it to the ground. In fact, if you look at the article that was posted, at least the first one, I think it was either gameindustry.biz, I can't remember at the moment. But like the video is right at the top where he's just sitting there just staring, and he stands up and throws it to the ground like so just a quick poll here for you guys. How many have had consoles in your younger years?
Me.
Yep.
Okay.
Genesis, Nintendo 64. Yeah.
SNES, and then PlayStation 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, all the good stuff.
I mean, what
Nope.
barcode consoles? If you had 0 consoles?
0 consoles.
Oh
It's
my
all right. We're gonna
goodness.
change that.
But they fixed that crit.
The first computer game I ever played was Lemming. Or no, it was Number Munchers in school.
Mhm.
And then when I finally got my own, or my family finally got a computer back in the 90s, we were blessed with Lemmings for DOS and Indianapolis Racing. Not to be confused with IndyCar Racing, because that was a different game by a different publisher, but it was still good to play. It was a lot of fun. Then we had Jazz Jackrabbit and Solitaire and Minesweeper and Nibbles and Gorillas for QBasic. Yes.
Listen, I'm a third.
Look, I was
generation-
more of a.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm going to regret things later.
I said, listen, I'm a third generation gamer. My grandfather used to build computers in the military. He was hyped for Pong. My mother liked playing old school Zelda and Echo the Dolphin and stuff like that. And I actually got started on gaming on an old Commodore 64. I didn't start typing until I was on a mechanical typewriter. Believe me, I know my stuff. But
Oh, yeah,
Knows
I'm
her
not suggesting
shit.
you don't.
that being said, now that we're into 2023, I think it's about time that you at least start enjoying some consoles, especially if we're on
Oh,
road
yeah.
trips and you can actually enjoy maybe playing. If we're doing a road trip, you can actually sit back and play Nintendo Switch, especially during our road trip from Florida to Canada.
Okay, sit his ass down.
Canada? That's right up there with me calling it Canada. Wow.
Sit his ass down, give him the Switch and say, here, play Mario 1 and don't say a word till you beat it.
I was never that good at Mario.
My statement stays the same.
So my next statement is probably going to be relatable to 3 out of 4 of us, and that is being at your friend's house who doesn't have the best temper, who gets upset because they lose either to you or to the CPU or whatnot, and frisbees the controller across the room or at the ground or at you.
That was my brother playing Madden.
To be fair, that was also my wife playing Halo 3. Especially when I played with her. If I was on her team and we happened to lose and I didn't get above at least 5 kills, there was usually either a headset or a controller heading my way. She was she it's not that she's mad, she's hyper competitive. Like, I cannot play Mario Kart with this woman anymore because we have learned that will end in divorce.
Whoa.
Only because I beat her ass every single time and she can't stand it.
Wow.
No, but when I played Madden with my brother back in the day, and I don't know how football works entirely. I don't know plays and stuff like that. But the moment I scored a touchdown, he took his controller and just chucked it at the TV. But thankfully, this was back in the day when freaking those TVs were like heavy. They were like
The big boys.
big boys. Took like 2 people to freaking lift it on top of a fucking dresser or something like that because we didn't have, we had an entertainment center. Sure, we had one of those giant TVs in the living room, but we also had the big TVs in our room too. So that brings me back. But it's like, it reminds me too of when we had the Wii.
Oh, no.
Mini controllers were thrown on accident, not even on purpose.
And that would take out the TV. No shot.
Yep.
Wow. So yeah, it's the kind of behavior you get for people who don't have any type of anger control. And I assume since this guy is like, the 9th best in Canada for playing Smash for that particular character, that it's kind of out of character. But I think that after hitting the losing bracket and then winning the next 2 matches and then getting your ass handed to you is probably pretty frustrating because, I mean, if you're a professional Smash player, that's where your money comes from. Mind you, he's expected to place high, but the community was like, what is this guy doing? This was unsightly. This is not becoming, especially with that type of visibility. Like, you cannot throw that kind of fit. And this
No,
is
you
all
look like a
time-
goddamn child.
I mean, it's kind of
It happened. Go ahead, Chris.
it's kind of like that one dude that was raging over World of Warcraft, and he did an unspeakable thing to a remote. Yeah.
I don't want to know.
I know
How
that
do
I
you-
noticed that you said unspeakable, and I just about asked what was the unspeakable thing, and you're just like, it's unspeakable. So I just played that out in my head.
I'm just having a pinky in the brain moment.
Nerf.
That leaves a lot to my imagination.
They
Like,
had
I
they
don't-
had a meme of it. Hold on, let me see if I can dig it up.
While she's doing that, I'm gonna harp on this on the actual fighting game community. When it comes to, I mean, don't get me wrong, I cannot play Smash, and the people who play Smash and can do what they do in the game, that is amazing, and I don't discredit them at all. But just don't call it a fighting game when we're square. Anyway, anger happens in a tournament setting. Like, it's going to happen, especially if you dedicate, a lot of these people dedicate their entire lives to this craft, be it Smash Brothers, be it Street Fighter, be it Tekken, be it any of these things.
I lived with a guy who wanted to be a professional Guitar Hero player. So, yeah, no, it's a thing.
Oh, absolutely. And when you get to the point where you're right there, and especially if you lose to somebody who people know is your rival, or as they call it, your demon, it's a thing. That is an actual term in the fighting game community. Like, there's a guy, like, you could be the top dog in your division, in your region, in anywhere, but there's that one dick that you cannot beat because for some reason he gets in your head the moment he sits next to you. That's called your demon. And the moment he kicks your ass, tempers flare. And I've seen pop-offs, both good and bad, in the fighting game community. I've seen people chunk controllers across the room. I've seen people smash controllers straight in between their legs on the ground because they cannot believe they inputted wrong. Like, emotions happen. Emotions are a thing that happen, especially in competitive play. So I don't fault him for getting pissed and throwing his controller, especially if he was like one of the favorites to win the Deadcom thing. Like, if you get bodied by somebody that you know you shouldn't get bodied by, you're gonna get anger's gonna happen. Anger. It's like me going into a tournament and knowing that I've been practicing and knowing my craft for the last 4 months, and then Harrison sits up there and kicks my ass because he spams one button over and over again. You're gonna get mad. It's going to happen. There's nothing that's gonna stop it.
Fun fact, a lot of the follow-up tweets and comments on it was like, well, he's playing a cheap-ass character anyway with the cheapest moveset, so I don't understand why when he got defeated that he did this way. Maybe it's to be expected. But, my biggest concern is like, I look at it like in my old age now, I look at it in dollars. I'm like, oh my goodness, like Switch controllers aren't cheap. That was like $60 to $70 he just chunked at the ground that he doesn't know.
Yeah.
Right, absolutely. And I understand that
Well,
too.
You guys all have kids. I can't imagine being a parent and watching your child whip an expensive controller like that across anything. I would lose my goddamn mind.
So interesting you say that. My middle kid, he has a mini temper issue. I say mini. He's gotten better over the years. He used to be the wildest thing on the planet. Like, oh my God.
Well, hell to the fuck no.
Yes, that. But he was playing some Roblox game or something, and I kept hearing him go, damn it, why does it always happen? And I hear clink. And then I knew what he was doing, and I'll get to that here in a second. But he'd get more and more frustrated and hear the clink, and I told him not to do this thing. So I had gone to the store, and I come back and he goes, hey, Dad, I was just watching my phone, and it no longer works.
Oh.
What do you mean it no longer works? It's like, look,
Grumble.
the screen is not turning on and stuff. It's like, oh, you mean because you were hitting it with your Xbox controllers? Oh, no, I wouldn't do that. I'm like, come on, man.
It kind of sounds like something my son would do, right? Right, Mommy?
That reminds me of the story with Harrison. I've mentioned it on stream before.
No.
He got so angry at the poor Fortnite game that he lost, that he hit the freaking switch on his knee and literally ripped the left Joy-Con out and left wire sticking out of the switch.
Oh,
I
I need
looked
to
at
move out.
him.
I'm gonna hurl. Oh God.
No. I looked at him, and of course, the dad in me was pissed, but that wasn't my switch. It was mother's switch, and I looked at him, and I didn't say it like this, but I said it in so many words. I'm like, "Oh, you fucked up." Mom's
You're in
gonna
so much trouble.
Mom's gonna whoop your ass when she gets home, and it was not pretty. Needless to say, he has been very gentle with switches since then.
Well, mine's spending some time without a phone because I'm still paying for the one he can't use. So
Oh no.
Fair.
Oh no.
yeah, no, like hey,
Is there a warranty on it?
no, because he's already crashed his screen, so you can't warranty any of that. Yeah. Womp, womp, womp.
See, with me and my son, he was complaining that someone in a video game was like aimbotting. Kept on screaming out, "He keeps aimbotting! He keeps aim!" So I like
Then
casually
change
just,
servers, you fuck.
no, I just casually walked into his room and shut his game off and walked out.
Oh, I've done that. Just the look of just like incredulousness and just sheer anger and vibration that comes out of the
I
child.
was like,
When you walk in
there.
and like, I need you to do something. I'm in the middle of something. Boop boop.
I was like, you're gonna lose anyway. Remember aimbotting?
Rip.
I'm gonna say, please say something to Mom and see what happens, please.
So, another event happened at this Genesis 9 competition for a European player from Great Britain, I believe. Goes by the call name of Frenzy. Let's see here. I just buried my stupid notes. Hold on.
Elliot Frenzy Grossman.
Hey, look at that. Cajun is on it.
I'm
Awesome.
here, baby. I'm here.
Hell yeah.
I'm 2.5 sheets of the wind, but I'm in it.
Well, apparently.
I'm looking at his hand right now. Oof.
Oh yeah. No, like he tweeted out and he's like, so yeah, I got out of an 11-hour flight from Heathrow to California, and my phone was almost dead. And I was gonna get an Uber when I got here, but because my phone was dead, I decided, well, heck, I'll just go wait in the taxi area. And was met by a person who was just like, hey, you need a taxi? He's like, yeah. He was all right, and helped him into the car and whatnot. And after he buckled in, he saw cops with guns drawn running at him going, stop!
Stop the vehicle, get out!
He's down now. Do it now.
Do it
now! Get out to the chopper!
As the
Do
taxi,
Shotgun. Oh!
So speaking of old consoles and arcade games and stuff like that, it kind of reminds me of LARPing of Crazy Taxi.
Oh no.
well, so the taxi driver took off because he wasn't having any of it, and Frenzy was like, nope, and like dived out of the car.
A man tuck and rolled.
Yeah, so I mean that's terrible, and and that's part of the reason why I'm all for Uber. Like last time I went to Austin, I was like, oh, we'll just catch an Uber from wherever we're at, because I think I rode the train down there, and at that point they had banned Uber citywide, and boy, I will never take another taxi again at all. Holy crap. Like the quality of the taxi, it felt like the car was going to fall apart. I almost felt like I was in a scam, right? I'm just like, oh yeah, we'll get you from here to the airport so you can rent a car and not be in mind. Oh, please, like hurry.
I'm
I
too
kind of
young to
wonder.
die.
I kind of wonder if the police said do a barrel roll.
Oh no.
Well, he
Drink
did.
gang.
You
Personally,
don't need to drink for that, but okay.
but
No,
yeah,
no, you do. It's a dad joke.
I mean-
I mean, he was smart enough to at least know, like, I gotta get the fuck out of Dodge. But just imagine, dude. Imagine you've been on this flight and you're half asleep, and you look up and you just see freaking the SWAT squad right outside your car, and your dude takes off. The diamonds I would make with my sphincter would be immaculate, man.
Well, this is also coming from a country that doesn't have like open carry like we do here, or any public gun possessions other than like I think airsoft, I believe. Yeah. So, like he comes to America, and there's guns everywhere. Everybody has guns, and they're running at him, telling him to stop. So,
What did I do?
You do know why I made the barrel roll reference, right?
Star Fox, yes.
And because he was a Falco mean.
Is he really? Is he really?
I did not see that. Oh,
I'm dead. I'm sick. I'm done.
there it is. Haley from England and Maining Falco right there in my notes.
You're welcome.
Oh.
Crit right there with the deep joke that nobody got. And they're like,
I got to get a bottle opener. I've got some Japanese warm beer I got to drink now. Jesus Christ.
I'm saying, like, she's on next level today, boys and girls. She's outside the Emerald Dream. She's on the Ruby Dream at this
And I
point.
have a giant bottle of wine.
Great.
This
I'm
is,
out here freaking making everybody turn up.
This is
Turned down for what?
Kieran Ichiban. Let me go get a bottle opener and I'll continue this. Until then, chatter amongst yourselves because man, that was
Woo.
good.
Like Crit, like I'm gonna throw it out there. 2 weeks ago, we said, hey Crit, you need to get some stuff, and you need to be excited about stuff. And the moment we told her to do that, her dad jokes have been on fucking point. Like she almost got me passed out 2 weeks ago with the whole lemon lime vodka shit. And then
I was half terrified you were about to say lemon party.
No, this is funny enough that since we watched freaking Sausage Party that night, that kind of coincides with all that. That was funny.
God,
But
that
no,
was an atrocious movie. I love
That's
it.
not
It
the
was
type of
great.
pucker you're looking for.
No, it is not. Absolutely not. I do not know. No,
Another drinking joke. Yeah.
no. She has. I'm not gonna say you're the bane of my existence, but you're the reason why I enjoy Saturday nights now. Because I don't know what's gonna happen when I walk into this podcast.
Bringing her A game for our B-rated production. Thank you so
Hey,
much.
just
That's
think
right.
about it. Think about it as my crazy taxi. You're
Yeah.
just on a wild ride with me.
Gonna take you for a ride.
So we're going to move on now. We're going to head up on Imy's favorite subject, job security and unions.
Woo!
Yes.
Yes. So
Insert angry barcode noises here.
So I'll save the fun one for last, but let's talk about this name has got my face all twisted up. It's Proletariat, I believe.
Proletariat.
Right? But it's proletariat?
Proletariat, yeah.
Okay.
Not to be confused with the lariats that people are after in World of Warcraft.
The what?
The necklaces.
I can't tell you how many times I've actually looked at freaking Blizzard.com and looked at the install button because of you bitches.
You know,
vote with your money. That's all I say because corporations
it's a hit or
listen to money, in my
miss.
opinions.
I know that's why between that and freaking Whiz Bros, I've been like,
oh, that's a whole nother thing. You see how they were like, we're probably just going to leave it the way it is, as you guys have all indicated. So,
if they would have done that fucking 2 weeks ago, they would have saved all their face and all their D&D.
Oh, they would have had so many unsubscribes.
or not do it at all. Like, just leave the...
We're gonna wait till we lose $50,000 a month. Like, oh, okay, we're not gonna touch it now. Hey, bitch, we got people freaking Pathfinder has sold out of their books because of your ass.
Yep.
I was gonna go buy one. I can't get one right now.
Oh my goodness!
You could probably try looking on eBay.
Like, it's crazy. Like all you had to do was not piss off your fan base. It's not that difficult, and you fucked that up.
For some people, you just have to go for broke in the stupidity department, and they really try hard to win that competition. I mean, they do a great job of winning that stupid competition, but it's like,
I kind of understand what corporate was going for. Like, Hasbro lost money last year, but the only department they actually gained money in was Wizards of the Coast. I understand you want more money. I get it. Business happens, capitalism shit. I understand. But don't piss off the people. Don't piss them off. And you did that, and now all of a sudden you got your tail between your legs. Like, okay, we're gonna leave the original OGL the way it is. It's too late, dude. People are already rolling Pathfinder and Starfinder and Call of Cthulhu and all this bullshit. The age of the orc has come.
Yeah, especially with like Kickstarter and stuff like that being a thing now. I mean, people are gonna look for different games to play. That being said, I mean, Hasbro should just like focus on selling more Ouija boards, because at this point they're just going to need it for a seance to talk to their lost subscribers.
Damn.
Correct.
Damn.
So
Don't piss her off. She will tell you how badly you failed as a human being.
I need a refill after that shit. Holy balls. She said, I'm going to call up your ancestors on this one, bitch.
Proletariat. So
We got to wait. The complete subject we ran away from. We chased that rabbit as far as we could. Let's get back to the subject.
well, let's see what IME has to say about it. Because honestly, all this union stuff that happens, IME is probably the most insightful out of all of us.
Oh,
I'm not in
Which
it.
is funny because I just had a very, very, very long union-related meeting this week on a bunch of things that are happening at work that are pissing all of us off. So basically, Proletariat has pulled back their request for unionization. Now, generally speaking, and we haven't heard from CWA, so we only have one side of the story. Generally speaking, it takes a lot for people who are trying to organize to all of a sudden say, you know what, let's not organize. And that's what they did. The CEO is saying, whatever. I don't even want to read it because I just want to strangle him. If you weren't a dick to your employees in the first place, they wouldn't have been trying to unionize. So I really don't want to read his statement. But basically, he was being a dick. But then basically he's going around saying, oh, we did nothing wrong. One of the people who was trying to organize on behalf of all the workers, he was a lead artist, I want to say. Even he was saying, oh, you know, the tactics were from CWA, which is Communications Workers of America, were really aggressive and in your face, which doesn't fit past behavior of CWA when they've had other groups unionize. So my best guess, and of course we don't have anything from CWA to sort of try and decipher what actually happened. My best guess is CWA did what CWA does, which is encourage people to unionize, encourage people to show solidarity with each other. And that can be scary. That can be scary when all of a sudden you're asked or told, like, hey, to show solidarity, if you have to take job action or if somebody has to take job action, we all take job action. And that is really terrifying for people, especially if it ever comes to a strike vote. Although, a strike, because a strike vote's a different subject altogether. But when it comes to strikes, people immediately think job action equals strike. And that means you're going without pay until you get your contract negotiated and finished up. I mean, yes, there is union strike pay, but it's usually not much more than like $20 a day, depending on your union. But I want to know what CWA has to say over this whole thing, because the company is denying that they were demoralizing employees. But if you think about it, that's what employers do when it comes to employees unionizing. They'll do anything they can to stop you from doing that. So to force people into situations that are demoralizing would not surprise me. And it wouldn't surprise me if this is one of those cases where management won or and the employer won against people trying to unionize. But like I said, we got to wait for any sort of a statement from CWA if they deliver one before we can actually figure it out.
Especially since this is over Activision Blizzard again. And like in most recent news with Blizzard, one of the developers for Classic WoW, Brian Birmingham, actually left Blizzard under protest. Even the site Wowhead, after refusing to give out an understandingly low employee evaluation in order to fill competitive stack ranking quotas required by executive leadership. Honestly, between crunches, this and that, the other thing, with or without a union, they need to literally treat their employees better.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
They won't until we as consumers start voting with our wallets. Because that's really the only thing that gets any sort of notice is when you vote with your wallet.
Case in point,
Yes.
full circle back to D&D and freaking Wiz Bros. They're like, oh, we fucked up. I'm sorry. We apologize. Please come back. No.
Yeah. It is really difficult to fight against that, which really, really sucks. But yeah, like those companies, they have one goal in mind, and that's to make money. And until we as consumers start voting with our wallets and not buying product, they're never going to grow up. They're never going to change because there's no incentive for them to change,
But
which is really unfortunate and annoying.
Brian did a follow-up statement. He did say, I wasn't intending to make this public, but apparently it's in the news already. So at least I'd like to set the record straight. I'm no longer an employee at Blizzard, though I would return if allowed to, so I can fight the stack ranking policy from the inside. I'm told that the forced stack ranking policy is directive that came of the APK level above my gear up era. I don't know for sure, but I suspect if true. Everybody at Blizzard I've spoken to about this, including my direct supervisor, expressed disappointment about this policy. Let's see. We at Blizzard pushed back pretty hard in 2021. I truly believe that we reversed the developing quota policy. When the sexual harassment lawsuit was revealed later that year, we saw some change following that as well. I mean, I could show you all this stuff too. It's just, they said that the ABK team should be ashamed of itself. It's been a problematic parent company.
Yeah.
So, I mean, with that, like, I know you say that you feel like downloading the game and stuff like that, but I know after my year sub is up, if they don't change their ways and actually do better for their employees, I might not resub, but we'll see.
Yeah, my sub runs out in 6 months or in March, so we'll see. Like, I've already played all I want to play, and now I'm just kind of hanging out. So to go ahead and finish this update on this particular topic, the gameindustry.biz was the one that pulled this out. And just reading throughout all the articles that came out after it all point to this particular article. The update on it is what Activision Blizzard had responded with. And it says, I'm going to read this verbatim. It says, an Activision Blizzard representative responded to the request for comment saying, we appreciate the CWA has unilaterally decided to withdraw its petition in response to employee feedback. As we've stated, we welcomed the opportunity for each employee to safely express their preferences through a confidential vote. Our team at Proletariat does extraordinary work every day. They remain focused on working with their teams to continue to make Proletariat a place where all can grow, thrive, and be part of it. That sigh broke everything because I can't do it myself.
Continue, and I will.
That's why I'm doing
an
it.
Opinion here.
If you listen real carefully, you hear Aime's fingers scratching against the wall.
But once you hear the groan, that's where I have to stop. Okay, and be part of an amazing team and culture. The company later added a denial of the CWA's suggestion that Sivak demoralized employees, saying that is totally false. The Proletariat CEO was responding to concerns from employees who felt pressured or intimidated by CWA and wanted more information about what joining a union could mean.
Oh my fuck! Are you okay? So CWA did nothing wrong, and Blizzard Sorry. Continue.
Oh no! I think I've gotten to the top of this turd, so you can go ahead and shout over it now.
Oh my god! So what that is, just so everyone's clear, that is an anti-union tactic, and one of the things they tried with Ravensoft, which the QA people, which made myself and a lot of people laugh who've seen this before, is they literally sent a message on their Slack channel for everybody saying, if you let the union negotiate your contract for you, you're letting the union negotiate your contract for you. That's the whole fucking point. This was just pain. And to see that they're doing this does not surprise me in the slightest, because, like I said, it's a good way to keep people in line. And one of the best ways to do that is by using misinformation and fear tactics, which is what employers are really good at. Because if you think about it, employers own your ass. And if you don't do what your employer says, you're in for a bad day. And one of the things they like to do all the time is scare you into believing their version of events. Because that means they can maintain positive control over you and you really don't get a say in anything, which is a shitty thing that they do, and it is fully not legal, but everyone does it anyways, and I don't understand why. But yeah, that was just what he's saying is that they were using anti-union tactics of intimidation to get people to vote against it or withdraw the request, which just makes me angry.
Oh yeah.
Like, fuck off already.
What do you mean?
If you don't
is an
want your employees
organization
to
telling us?
unionize,
Yeah.
like if you don't want your employees to unionize, treat them right and pay them fucking well. And stop making 7 figures. Because if you do that, I guarantee you can have a lot more people wanting to work for you if you treat your employees well.
You know, I honestly need to do a study on why 7 figures is necessary for a CEO or officer level staff.
Oh, it's
Like-
because they earned it. They should get it. No, literally, that's the excuse. No, I'm serious. That is literally the reason why. Is, oh, well, I've earned it, so I deserve it.
I'm just I can't justify it. Like, why can't it go
No.
back into the business and, like, you know, bring your employees up as opposed to lining your pockets? Like, what is so expensive that you need your salary to be
yachts
in the
cost
millions?
a lot, sir. Sir, yachts are very expensive to maintain. Now, granted, not every CEO has a yacht, but at the same
Yet.
time, when you're making 7 figures and your employees are struggling to make rent, I have a fucking problem with that.
Or better yet, you're subsidizing the government to finish out what you should be paying your employees because you don't pay them enough to actually live.
Exactly.
So
Like when your staff have to rely on food banks or you guys have food stamps in the US, that's not right. Like your employees should never have to rely on charity to make ends meet. They should be able to thrive doing their job and being able to do the things they want to do. And everyone's gonna be like, oh, avocado toast. Well, apparently it's tasty. I don't like avocados, but also fuck off. Have you seen the price of food?
oh, bro. Yeah,
Like freaking $5 for eggs.
Like
I'm about to go
you
buy me
guys are
some chickens.
paying way more. So I'm used to paying about what the hell is it? About $30 a kilogram. So divided by 2, so about $15, $16 a pound. I'm used to paying that for chicken. You guys are now starting to pay those prices, and you guys are losing your goddamn minds because you've never had to pay that in your lives. It's
is it good chicken for you? Like, is it like high quality?
no,
like,
it's just chicken you find in the supermarket.
just our age
it's a-
chicken. Like,
Just
Why are you
Boneless,
talking
skinless.
about me? What?
boneless, skinless chicken. I saw a couple things this week about people paying like $15, $16 a pound. I'm like, yeah, I pay this normally.
Yeah,
But
people
also I saw
started-
$7 for a dozen eggs. And I was like, that's literally more than I pay. That's excessive.
Yeah, people are starting to do OnlyFans just to get some eggs.
Yeah.
I've signed up.
When you need to do OnlyFans or any sort of extra job just to make ends meet, I have an issue with that because my personal opinion is you should never have a second job unless you want one. You should never have to have one, or you should never have one because you have to have one. Like, if you have to have a second job to make ends meet, your employer is failing you. If you have a second job because you're bored, great.
Welcome to
Go have
40.
fun.
Because you're
welcome to
bored.
40. Welcome to 40% of America.
Because
Yeah,
you're bored.
and that's disgusting. Yeah, well, I mean, when you get old, like me, you get bored. And when you have ADD, you get bored even faster. So it's really hard to stay engaged. So extra jobs kind of, make your brain less melty.
Well, let's move
You're like,
on.
I don't want to be called old.
Let's move on to the happy end of this union conversation.
Yes.
Yes.
This is
So,
what unions can do for you.
Ivy, take it away.
So a gentleman was accused by his employer of playing Call of Duty at work, and they were going to terminate him. However, the union steward did their job very well. And being in an IT position, the easiest way to prove something wrong is to use the technology yourself to prove people are being stupid. So what happened was is this union steward looked at what the complaint was that this player or this guy was, playing Call of Duty on work computers, and he conclusively proved in the hearing that the work computers were nowhere near good enough to actually play Call of Duty. So the supervisor who had accused him of playing Call of Duty at work basically got shown up because the video cards in the machines were so shitty they could never have played it. And I love it.
That's amazing.
Yep. But that's what unions do for you is they keep you from getting fired for bullshit. Can you imagine having to tell like your family that you got fired because your supervisor accused you of playing Call of Duty when you're at work? And at least with the union, you've got them to protect you and be like, no, and here's where you're wrong, and here's every way in which what you just said is stupid and unfounded.
Yeah, I think later in that article, it was talking about he was actually watching a video review of on
Yes.
YouTube. So
Yep.
it was just like, so not only was it a huge misunderstanding, it was a headhunt. Nobody
Oh,
took the time to
absolutely.
understand anything of what anyone's going to do. Oh, he was playing video games. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like this supervisor needs to be terminated because a supervisor like that is just going to cause the company trouble. And this, to me, seems like a very clear-cut case of trying to go after somebody and trying to have them terminated.
Yeah.
And I mean, for the most part, no company wants their employees playing video games when they're at work. So the best way to get someone fired is to, especially if they're young, they say, "Oh, you're playing video games." It's like you understand what a let's play is, right? Like I watched let's plays of Project Zomboid when I used to go to the office before I got to work home for the rest of my career. But yeah, like it's not like I'm playing Project Zomboid and have it on during lunch. Like fuck off. I
I
can enjoy myself.
And
I
that's
kind of know where the headhunt probably stemmed from too, or at least
Yeah.
maybe. Like if you've noticed the little trend on TikTok, they have the work from home Fridays or whatever. What do
I
you
don't have
do with?
TikTok, so I'll take your word for it.
Well, I've seen articles on Twitter be like, people are complaining that they're getting in trouble at work or whatever. People are like, can you please stop posting what you're doing at home on work from home Fridays? You're putting a damper on things.
what?
Yeah.
We're
So,
being rated, by the way, by
oh, we are. Hello.
a specific Pop-Tart lion.
Hello, Jalen.
Jalen!
Hello. You guys are coming right at the end of the show, unfortunately.
Bring it in. Come on
We
in.
just-
Hugs for everyone.
We just had me bitching and laughing at somebody who tried firing an employee because they didn't understand what they were talking about. Short story was an employee supervisor tried getting this employee fired because the supervisor was claiming that the employee was playing video games, Call of Duty specifically, at work. The union steward went to the hearing with the employee and said, no, these video cards are so shitty, they couldn't do that if they even tried.
They could
And,
even play solitaire, bitches.
Yeah, and what's really funny is a lot of companies actually block solitaire.
No shit.
No
Yeah,
shit.
they do not want you to play anything.
Dude, so they're
So-
like, you do know that I'm playing on a toaster, right?
Yeah. It's like you understand that this thing is not capable of anything more than, you remember the maze screensaver or the pipe screensaver from Windows
Yes.
XP?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the best it can do. Are you sure you want to get in a fight over this, please? Thanks.
I'd be like, you don't even pay me enough to feed me. How am I going to feed the hamster that runs my computer?
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because I had a workstation at my old office job because it was an actual workstation, not a desktop, because I ran virtual machines. I asked for the shittiest, cheapest video card that could just give me VGA graphics because that's all I really needed. and I ended up getting a video card meant for drafting. They're not shitty graphics cards, but also a drafting video card cannot do floating point calculations very well, and it cannot do 3D vector rendering that you would find in a video game. It's like, this thing might be, what is it? It's a Xenon 2545 or 2145. So very good server level processor. It's just not meant for video games.
Not at all. But you know who is meant for video games? Us.
All of us.
That's right.
Yes.
We're about a minute over. Let's go ahead and run our round table. Cajun.
Woo!
I know. Let's start with you. Cajun, what's going on in Cajun land?
We still doing the damn thing with the living shiny Dex hunt on Tuesdays and Thursdays over on the channel, twitch.tv/NordicAsian. Lumi brings the good luck, and we find the shinies. We hit our first big record, 6 shinies in one stream last Thursday. It was
Nice.
sick, and we're trying to get that whole shiny Dex because I don't know where I'm going to go from there once we finish it, but we still have a long way to go, so I ain't worried about that just now. Other than that, that's what I'm aiming. That's what I'm maining right now. Working on some side projects for YouTube and whatnot to get some other content going. But other than that, the main focus is getting all the shiny pixels. They're adorable. It's a fun time.
To sum it up, the king is back, baby.
Yes.
All right, let's get the weekly update from the Crit Code.
Ma'am?
Me? Oh,
Yes.
I mean, not much. Things arrived in the mail.
Nonsense will be pronounced.
On the 6th, I get my passport application all figured out. And, I mean, we've been just kind of binge watching Gravity Falls and Animaniacs on Hulu.
Hulu. Because I, of course, do not get Hulu in Canada.
Oh, you're cheating the system.
Yeah. Well, and the worst part is she's going to need to subscribe to a VPN when she moves here if she wants to still watch Hulu.
Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, no, I mean, just keep your account, VPN it out. That's really all it's all about.
What about the Lumi?
The Lumi will continue to do Lumi things. I plan on adding an extra day of streaming, not sure what or when. One of the things that I did a few months back was kind of something similar to what I did with my early days on YouTube, which was the Luminary Weekly, except I did it daily, which was the joke. But other than that, it's really going to be centered around what can we do, how can we make this podcast pop even more, get out there, talk to folks, beautiful folks like Warbringer Jalen, Ariel Garfield, and other folks that they trust that we've all rated. You know,
bring those ear holes here, boy.
Yes. Bring the people to listen to us.
But yeah, for 6 months worth of podcasts, this has been absolutely amazing. We found our groove. Now we just need to push it further, and that's what I'm going to be focused on. Ops.
Yes.
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 Rogel Dorn.
So,
If you haven't seen the series, If the Emperor Has a Text-to-Speech Device, or If the Emperor Had a Text-to-Speech Device on YouTube, it is a fantastic series. Unfortunately, Games Workshopped, and they had to cut the series short.
Got taken to the chop shop.
Yeah, it's GW.
Take it to the chop shop.
Which is why all the memes I saw with GW fans, or like Warhammer fans, involving D&D with Wizards of the Coast, which is just goddamn hilarious, because I think it's the movie where Oh Brother We're Out There, there's like the guy getting hung, and he's got the noose around his neck, and he's looking over at the other person. It's like, oh, first time? So the caption was GW fans. Was the guy being hung? It's like, oh, it's your first time, is it?
Dang.
Let's go ahead and push this recording to a close. So, it's been a pleasure. Episode 21, half a year, celebrate nonsense.
I'm gonna go kill Kerbals.
Oh, do it. Do it as hard as you can.
Do it now.
No, KSP is not responding. No.
Ah, man, curbalding your enthusiasm.
So with that, we'll see. Oh, the other thing, I believe I've got a birthday I have to attend for one of our podcast weeks on February 11th. So I'm going to call that one out. So whatever's happening that week, it won't happen. So I'll give you guys some rest and go do fun things like nonsense.
So we're saying the weekend of the 14th.
Let me pull up the calendar real quick. If the calendar can be pulled up, come on, you can do it. There we go.
No, the 11th and 12th. I'm dumb. I was looking at January.
Yeah, so like
Bunga bunga.
yeah, so like not this next episode, but the episode after that. So we got episode 22, and then 23 will resume on the 18th.
Cool.
Cool. Other than that, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for the raid, Jalen. It's great seeing everyone. Have a great week.
Autobots roll out.
I just realized this entire time I have been streaming to the Discord while we've been doing the podcast.
Yeah, you have.
I haven't even seen it. Let me